Hi, welcome to another episode of Dr. Cammy and Karen Go Keto, where we're working on a transitioning from the standard American diet to a low carb keto diet or carnivore diet and to getting ourselves into better metabolic health. So, in this episode, we're talking about how when I go to eat off plan or to have a binge, and I was thinking about it this morning because yesterday I ate off plan. I did not take pictures and send them to Jeff prior to me eating food. I ate ultra processed high carb foods. I didn't eat all the food that I bought. I ended up throwing half of it away. So I do see some improvement there. It's progress, not perfection. However, I did feel like as I was thinking about the feelings that I had prior to eating the food, I felt like I had been hanging off a cliff, holding onto a rope, and then just getting too fatigued after so long. I mean, I don't know how many days you would hang there or whatever, you just can't do it anymore because I'm still heavy, right? So I have to hold this to support myself. And you let go of the rope and you free fall and you are out of control. And that's how it feels to me when I am on my food plan. And so I know that I still have to eat. I still have to dig deeper into a lot of the feelings and things that are going on inside me when I choose not to eat my healthier foods and choose to escape in the sugar and this euphoric high that I get. And for the most part, when I'm going along and I'm eating my plan and I'm doing well and I'm feeling good, I can feel almost like the tension building up inside me. And it seems to be the case that it's about every 2 weeks. It seems to be that about every 2 weeks, I just feel like I've been hanging on to the rope too long. So I obviously need to work on getting some better strategies in place.
So is the letting go of the rope the actual euphoria, or is that the freedom to indulge?
It's neither one. The letting go of the rope feels more of it feels like relief, like I'm not going to be exhausted anymore.
Okay, so write that down. You're exhausted eating on plan.
I get exhausted, I should say.
So is this an exhaustion because what's exhausting you?
I think the what's exhausting me is that I don't get my euphoria high for days on end. Maybe I could become a sex addict. Could I say that on YouTube?
Boy, we're gonna get some comments there. All those 40 to 60-year-old guys who are subscribed.
No, but I think that's part of it. There's a sense of relief. And then the other thing is that after I binge, after I eat off plan, I start the next day and I'm actually pretty happy. I still feel this sense of relief. Like that's today and I'm doing really well and I'm eating on plan and I feel okay. And
Well, but that's because you've reset the clock, right? You're starting over. But there's no way to get to your goals, right? If you continue what you're doing. There just isn't.
well, I don't know. I mean, maybe in 20 years, I don't know what
No.
my latest insulin level is, but my weight is slowly coming down and my clothes are fitting better. My hemoglobin A1C is 5.7. Next time around, I won't even be pre-diabetic. It's coming slowly.
You've lost a total of 40 pounds?
No, I've only lost not even 30, but I've lost 38 pounds of fat, but I'm gaining muscle.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Maybe you shouldn't be gaining muscle.
I know, but I don't want to stop exercising because that really helps me keep off of the sweet stuff, I think. The endorphins and the part of that.
So what do you feel is the answer for you
I
for
think
now?
the I think for me the answer is to keep exploring this. I'm glad we're here talking about it to learn from the when I fall off plan, to look at what I can learn from that, to realize that I don't have to make it as difficult as I make it, that I don't have to feel like I'm hanging over the edge holding onto a rope, that I can pull myself up to the top of the cliff and rest up there. And the ways I can do that is through getting support from others, getting support from my higher power, continuing to do use my tools that I have, because I haven't done a food diary because I've been
Well,
eating really well all day. So every day I just like go, okay, I've had a good day. I don't need to keep my diary. I've had a good day. I don't need to keep my diary. And for me, I think that taking the time and the energy to write out the things that I'm eating, at least for me, for now, is helpful for me because it shows me that I'm caring for myself.
yeah, it's not just for you, Cammy. That's a success strategy that works for millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of that strategy doesn't not work for anybody, right? It really it gives you awareness of yourself. And it may not keep you from binging, but at least it keeps you aware that you are not doing the things that you've said you're going to do, and maybe puts you back on the path that you want to be on, right? May make it easier for you to choose the path of not euphoria. Are there anything that you can think of right now that you could choose to do? Like what was it what happened that made you decide to eat these foods this time?
Well, like I'm talking about this rope, I felt like I had been hanging on to the rope for a while. And okay, so what happened was, I didn't tell you this yet. I
No.
weighed in on Thursday, which is today. No, which was yesterday.
Yeah.
On Tuesday, I was at the gym because I was there for a coaching session with somebody else. And I got on the scale. And I got on the scale and it told me that I had lost a good amount of weight. I don't remember the exact number to the exact number, but I'm like, God, I've lost some really good weight. And I thought, okay, so I'm going to be really good for the next 2 days so I can lose even more when I go to weigh in with Jeff. Well, when I went to weigh in with Jeff, I was the same as I had been the day, 2 days before, which was fine with me. It didn't really bother me, but I had already, no, I had
I don't
already,
believe that in a minute.
no, it didn't, because I already had the cookies in the car. I had already gone to 7-Eleven and bought cookies before I weighed in with Jeff
Yeah,
because I knew I had already lost the weight.
but you ate them afterwards.
I ate them afterwards
So,
because I didn't want them to show up on the scale.
well, they're going to show up on the scale. Do you think they're not going to show up on the scale? What's the magical thing that's going to happen that they're not going to show up on the scale?
Well, that's where my magical sneaky thinking comes in again, because I can say, oh, I have 2 weeks now to work it all off and to be really super good. And then maybe next time I won't lose 5 pounds, but I'll lose 3 pounds. And that'll still make
Okay.
me feel good because I'll be in the 230s and da da da
Okay.
da da da.
Here's my request. Tell Jeff to stop weighing you.
Well, that's going to
Because
be hard.
no, I don't care if it's hard. My request is tell Jeff to stop weighing you, because that is the trigger. What your weight is going to be, the fact that you're weighing in, the fact that you're checking in allows you to check out, right? I'm going to go ahead because I know I already lost weight. Well, maybe
Well,
if
but
you
then
don't,
I'll just find something else to tag on to. I'll
that's
just hook
okay.
on to my percent
That's
body fat. I'll go, oh, my percent body fat's down now. It's 30%. Oh, I'm
okay.
going to
You
go
know
do
what?
this.
Okay, you know what? Maybe he just doesn't report them to you, right? He can
But then we
take
can't see
all of
my,
them.
then you can't see my progress. Like when he says you've lost 38 pounds of
How
fat.
much? So what? So what? Does that change what you're going to do? Does that change? It already
No,
changes. Yes,
no,
it
it
does.
does.
It does change, because when you've done well, you buy cookies so that you can eat them later on.
Well,
So
no,
if you know
what I'm trying to say is that it shouldn't be done. You're right, because it doesn't really change your management, right? What's going to be the change
exactly,
in your management? Nothing.
right,
You're going to
right,
keep doing the same thing. So
right,
why even bother ever looking at it? I mean, I
exactly.
think he looks at it so that he can say, hey, look, my clients are successful. This is what they do.
Yeah, yeah. I would just say, I mean, I'm not saying not to do it, and maybe there are ways it's harder for you not to see it, right? If you get on the scale, you're going to see it. But maybe you can just say, I don't want to be on the scale for 6 weeks. Like when you come back from your trip in July, um, like less
July
than a month,
21st,
before Low Carb USA.
right, 3.5 weeks, which it
I
would be
dare
nice
you.
to be on the scale before then to give them some numbers.
Because why?
Well, because they're going to want to know. Sorry, I was
And
up at 3.
what if they just say, "Oh, you know what? We don't have any numbers for you. You can see I'm still fat, or you can see that I'm not as fat because I've got these pants on," right? We're not going to buy, we're not going to wear those big yellow shirts. We're going to have to get smaller yellow shirts.
Well, mine still kind of fits pretty decent. It's nice and loose, though.
So I think that that would possibly benefit you because if the trigger, so the question is, why did you get the cookies in the car when you did?
I think because I wanted the high off of him, and I knew I would already be high coming out of his office, knowing that I did so well and I lost weight. So I would be high off of that. So if you can get high, why not just get higher? That's kind of the way my addictive part of me thinks. More is better.
All right,
What's in there?
let's okay. Let's
Is
so
more
we're
always better?
yeah.
No, we
Is
all
more
know that more
always
is not
better.
always better. Like
All right,
taxes.
guys. We'll post these, and the next time you see Cammy, she will be cruising along the Alaska coast.
Yay!
Bye, everybody.